Wake up, Baltimore! Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. I'm Chris Riehl, in for Mike Haney this week. It's Wake Up Baltimore. For the next hour, we've got all kinds of good news from Charm City, plus news, sports, and weather. It all gets started here in just a moment. Mike is out on location, I'm told. Usually that means he's investigating a new golf course somewhere, so hopefully he is enjoying himself. It was a great week in Charm City. Beautiful weather, lots going on. Festivals, events, sports, all kinds of good stuff, all kinds of great reasons to be excited about what's happening in Baltimore. And we're going to try to cover as much of that as we can here today. We've got a new school of the week that we're going to feature and some other upcoming events. Your Gurl Cheryl is going to be here a little bit later on as well. So make sure you stick around for all of that Baltimore good news. And speaking of good news, I was just looking at the BBJ. They just came out with their fastest growing companies in greater Baltimore for 2022. 50 companies that are growing and thriving in Baltimore. A lot of minority and women-owned businesses on that list as well. So if you get the Baltimore Business Journal, check that out. Some really good news coming up in the business world in Baltimore. And I spent all weekend downtown in the city. I was doing some tours for Poe Festival. We're going to be talking with Enrica Jang from the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum a little bit later on. It was a beautiful weekend for that festival and a beautiful weekend for tours. And just to see the activity, the energy, everything happening in Baltimore this weekend was just awesome. And we capped off the weekend with a nationally televised football game at M&T Bank Stadium featuring the Ravens and the oh my gosh, my mind is blank. Who did we play last night? I can't even remember. It was the Baltimore Ravens versus, oh, that's right, the Cincinnati Bengals, the defending AFC champions. We'll get to that in just a moment as well. So we're going to kick off today in the celebratory style with some birthdays. And I know Mike always loves to list these birthdays, and he sent me the list of birthdays. I don't know if we're going to announce Mike's birthday. He doesn't want anybody to know how old he is. I think we're going to probably skip his birthday when it comes around. But we've got a lot of birthdays to announce. So if you're out there, if you're listening and you hear your name, happy birthday to you. If you hear a name that you recognize, make sure you hit them up, send them a message on Facebook, maybe an email, or even better, pick up the phone and give them a call and wish them a happy birthday. Over the weekend, Daryl Brown, Troy Boxton, and David Malloy celebrated birthdays. And today, what is today? Today, October the 10th, Chris Zindash, Sunday A. Wilson, Ava Fields, Jefferson Kirk, Anthony Wilson, Sheree Miller, Michael Powell Sr., Joseph Willis, Lisa Lady Page, Lisa Hawthorne, Madeline Woods, Janet Wilson, John Bay, Haiti E. Robinson Jr., Michelle Cager, Lucia Tyler. Tomorrow, birthdays for John Rawlings, Ronnie Burkle, Ronald Long, Cheryl Landis, Deborah Brown Davis, and Basha Jordan Jr. On October 12th, Kevin Bernard, Anton Bates, Steve McConnell, David Edwards, Bellis Worker, Janine Coleman, Janine Davis, Jeffrey Red, Pamela D. Gordon, Barry Blonder, Tanya Thomas, and great representative for Baltimore City, Kurt Anderson. A special happy birthday today to my friend and the executive director of the Maryland Tourism Coalition, Ruth Toomey. Happy birthday, Ruth. Ruth does a great job representing the tourism and hospitality industry all across the great state of Maryland. So we wish her a very happy birthday. I'm sure she's going to be celebrating in style. And speaking of celebrating, maybe we can get some birthday music from the
For anybody in the audience who's got a birthday today, happy birthday to you.
I love that. Every time I see that, I think about when Sir Paul McCartney was here in Baltimore performing at Oriole Park at Camden Yards over the summer. What a great event that was. A great birthday song that gets everybody up and going for this week. And, DJ Dice is on vacation this week too, I believe. And we always have DJ Dice getting us up and going with some music. So maybe we'll get some different music a little bit later on in the show to get everybody's blood pumping this Monday morning, since DJ Dice, I think he'll be back again with us next time. But we've always got to have that great music. Good morning, Odessa. Wake up, Baltimore. That's right. You're up and ready and hanging out with us. We love to see that. By the way, if you're watching us on Facebook, you can share the link with all of your friends. You can chat with us on Facebook. And these shows also go up on YouTube and our Facebook channel as well. So you can check that out too. Oh, it's Mike Haney checking in with us, saying happy birthday, Ruth Toomey and Michelle Cager. Mike checking in from the golf course, I guess. He's getting Wi-Fi out there on the links. Good to see you, sir. And thanks for letting me sit in for you. Big shoes to fill. I'm doing the best I can. Please go easy on me. We're going to go now to sports. It was a big weekend in Baltimore sports with their first winning season since 2016 already sewn up. The Orioles came back to Baltimore to close out the 2022 season at Camden Yards with one final homestand against the Toronto Blue Jays. After dropping game one on Monday, Tuesday's game was rained out, setting up a season-ending doubleheader. That's always fun. 2 games for the price of 1. Trailing 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th, rookie Terrin Vavra stepped to the plate and launched an Earl Weaver special over the right field wall and onto the flag court. That 3-run homer was his very first big league home run, and it gave the Birds a 1-run lead. There's Vavra rounding the bases for the very first time. One of those rookies that made an impact with the Orioles this season. Here it is again, out onto the flag court. That 3-run homer gave the Orioles a 5-4 lead, and that 1-run lead was enough for Brian Baker, who pitched a perfect 9th inning to secure the win. In game 2, the Orioles unfortunately would fall to the Blue Jays 5-1, but they finished the season 83-78. That's 5 games over 500 and good enough for 4th place in a very difficult American League East division. So after losing 110 games in 2021, this year's team finishes with a winning record, a 31-game improvement. That's remarkable. That hasn't been done since the 19th century. Highly touted prospects like Gunnar Henderson and most valuable Oriole Adley Rutschman made their big league debuts and had an immediate impact. Next year, the Orioles hope to get pitcher John Means back, and another top pitching prospect, Grayson Rodriguez, is expected to join the rotation next year as well. And we're just 171 days away from opening day, but who's counting? I can't wait to see what this team does next year and for years to come. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. To the gridiron now, with the Ravens playing their 2nd straight home game at M&T Bank Stadium, but still searching for that first home win of the season. This time they're facing off against divisional opponent and last year's AFC champs representing the conference in the Super Bowl, the Cincinnati Bengals, before a national television audience on Sunday Night Football. The Ravens got off to a good start. They began with a Justin Tucker field goal to put them up 3-0. Justin Tucker, always reliable. There's the first field goal of the night from 37 yards. And then Lamar Jackson led the team down the field, capping it off with this great touchdown pass to his favorite target, Mark Andrews. So very quickly in the first half, the Ravens were up 10-0, but the Bengals had tied it going into the locker room at halftime. In the second half, it was Justin Tucker again, kicking this 61-yard field goal to give the Ravens a 13-10 lead, and then a chip shot from 25 yards to put the Ravens up by 6. But oh no, horror of horrors, just before the 2-minute warning, the Bengals score a touchdown. They have a 1-point lead. Is it going to happen again? No. There was never any doubt. Justin Tucker, as time expires, from 43 yards, puts it right through the center of the uprights, and the Ravens win 17-16. Tucker is maybe the greatest kicker in NFL history. When the game relies on his right foot, it's almost money in the bank. Great game, great win at home. They finally get that elusive home win. They are now 3-2, and they sit atop the AFC North in sole possession of first place. Next week, the Ravens head back up I-95, again visiting the New Jersey Meadowlands, but this time they'll be facing us off against the 4-1 New York Giants. That'll be a good game on Sunday. The Terps dropped a heartbreaker to Purdue in College Park after some questionable calls. It didn't go Maryland's way. They lost 31-29. They fall to 4-2 and 0-2 in the Big Ten. That's sports for this week. For more sports, entertainment, and Baltimore content, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Riehl Deal 125. So check that out. All right, well, we're going to go to weather now, and let's bring in Kellie. It was a beautiful Kellie. I got to say thank you, because it was a fantastic week in Baltimore.
It was.
The sun was shining, but it was like a little crisp air, like fall weather, which is like my favorite, sweater weather.
Yes, and no rain. No rain. We were done with the rain.
I mean, it was like somebody flipped a switch. I know the beginning part of the week was pretty damp.
Yes.
That Oriole game was rained out. I had tickets on Tuesday night and I couldn't go, but I got to see 2 games the following day, so it was all right. But then by Thursday, it was gorgeous.
Yes, and I can take that all fall.
Yeah, me too. A couple more weeks of that, I will be happy.
Yes, definitely.
So thank you for dialing up that beautiful weather.
Oh, yeah.
You calling some favors for us?
I did, because I can't stand the rain.
Me neither. Well, what do we have in store for this upcoming week?
All right. Wake up, Baltimore. Temperatures are expected to stay in the mid to high 60s this week. On Monday and Tuesday, we have plenty of sunshine to cut through the crisp autumn air. That'll change as clouds cover the skies on Wednesday. It's going to start to rain during the afternoon on Thursday and continue into early Friday morning. Then we have clear skies through Saturday, and it looks like a great day for all of those participating in the Baltimore Running Festival. I'm Kellie Johnson for your Wake Up Baltimore weather forecast.
Thanks for that, Kellie. That's right. I forgot the Baltimore Running Festival's this weekend.
Yes. Will you be there?
I am not going to be running. I might go down and cheer everybody on. I'm much better at cheerleading than I am at actually running.
Okay. And how about racquetball? Are you a racquetball player ever?
Leon's trying to get me out there. I have not yet had the privilege of playing racquetball with Leon. I'm afraid he's going to embarrass me.
I think he's going to have all of us out there soon enough.
Is it anything like ping pong? I'm pretty good at ping pong.
You know what? I haven't made it out there yet, but I plan to soon, and I'll find out.
Very good. We're going to have a Wake Up Baltimore day out on the racquetball court.
I'm ready for it.
I think that'll be a lot of fun. Thanks so much, Kellie.
Actually, we have a Wake Up Baltimore song.
Oh, that's right, because DJ Dice isn't here. You've got the song
That's
queued
right.
up for us?
I have the song queued up.
I'm excited. Let's hear it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Way down on the shores of the Patapsco lies a singing and swinging this town I know. So have another beer, sit down, I'll tell you more. Folks work real hard, but they're doing it right. Cause when the sun goes down, they're gonna party all night. I'm talking about Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore. It's the greatest, craziest little big city around. Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore. That singing, swinging joint is my kind of town. Oh, say, oh, can you see the pretty little lady with her eye on me? I think I'll take that girl for a spin all over the floor. And then later on, when we're all alone, we'll share a kiss out on the cobblestones. And maybe I'll find true love in Baltimore. In Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore. It's the greatest, craziest little big city around. Baltimore. My Baltimore, that singing, swinging joint is my kind of town. Go ahead. But if you're looking for a lady with a little more spice, just take a walk down Baltimore Street. Now it's getting late, but before I go, hey bartender, one more natty bow. Then I'll pay my tab and I'll show myself to the door. It's been a hell of a night, I hate to see it end, but I know it won't be long until I'm here again. Cause I just can't get enough of my Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore. It's the greatest, craziest little big city around. Yeah, Baltimore, my Baltimore. That singing, swinging joint is my kind of town. Oh, Baltimore, yeah, Baltimore. It's the greatest, craziest little big city around. Yeah, Baltimore, my Baltimore. That singing, swinging joint is my kind of town. Welcome to Baltimore, huh?
I know that guy.
I think you've been modest this whole time. We had no idea you are a local celebrity.
Well, that's very kind of you. I appreciate you guys pulling that up. Yeah, that's a song I recorded a couple of years ago about my favorite city in the world. You know, there's New York, New York. There's I Left My Heart in San Francisco. I thought Baltimore needed a song, so I wrote one.
It's great. It's great.
Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. It's a lot of fun. That's on YouTube, by the way, folks. If you'd like to see it again, it's out there. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you so much, Kelly, and thanks for playing that tune. That's a lot of fun. I really appreciate that. All right. Wow, we're going to move on now. We have a very special school of the week, and we've been highlighting these schools for weeks now on Wake Up Baltimore because the schools in our city are such an important part of what makes Baltimore such a special place. And so today we're bringing in our friends from Green Street Academy. We are going to be joined by Executive Director Denisha Logan and Principal Tim Gordon. Now, I looked up Green Street Academy in West Baltimore, and their website says that in response to a significant citywide gap between the college and career preparation programming available in Baltimore City's public high schools and the growth of jobs in the city for which the graduates of these schools were unprepared, Green Street Academy's founders, Larry Rivets and David Warnock, imagined a new kind of high school in Baltimore City that would focus on 21st century career education, including the creation of a world-class academic facility that would one day enable city students to achieve their full potential. and graduate with the tools they would need for career success. That's what it's all about at Green Street Academy. At the same time, they wanted to also develop a community anchor that would create career opportunities for the families of the school students and the wider community in West Baltimore. And that was more than 10 years ago. They've come quite a long way since then. We can't wait to hear about it. So there we are. Principal Gordon and Miss Logan, thank you so much for joining us today on Wake Up Baltimore.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So I just gave a little bit of background, again, from the website about what Green Street Academy is all about, but that was very, that was website language. Can you tell us a little bit in your own words what Green Street Academy is all about, what you guys represent?
Sure. So Green Street Academy, we consider ourselves a pre-professional school, not a vocational school. So we really do focus on developing our students, their transition into the workforce and or into a college prep program. Our primary goal, I think, that makes us unique is our internship program. Last year alone, we were able to put 365 students to work in paid internships in a variety of different industries, many of which we support through our programming here in the school. And I really believe that's one of the biggest difference makers we have as we work to prepare our students for a pre-professional school. We don't really consider ourselves a vocational school as much as more of a pre-professional institution who prepares our students for jobs that will pay a living wage in the future.
Absolutely. So what kind of jobs are we talking about?
So it's a variety. So we've placed students everywhere from at a law firm. We've had students in shock trauma, St. Agnes, BGE. We've had students work for Whiting Turner. So we're pretty much across the board. We try to really spread it out. We've recently developed a partnership with Anderson Fire Prevention, and they are going to be working with our students who actually learn how to use AutoCAD. So they're going to walk in and actually be able to design sprinkler systems for businesses. So we're really excited about that potential partnership.
Wow. And Ms. Green, Miss Logan, have a lot of those partnerships resulted in jobs after the students graduate right away?
Well, some of them have, and then some of them, they have actually helped the kids decide if they want to further their education in college and move on to not just be in those internship programs or apprenticeship programs, but further the education and move into more into broader careers. So it's a nice catalyst or jumpstart spot for our young people so that they can kind of get a feel for the industry and see, is this the way I really want to go, or is there another alternative path for me?
That's right. Sometimes it's almost as important to know what you don't want to do as it is to know what you do want to do.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, you got to have opportunities. You got to be able to try on different hats and see what works best for you.
Absolutely. And that's the internship program really allows us to do that. We have students that start out in their sophomore year and they may say, hey, I'm in the medical field. I don't actually really like what I'm doing. And that gives us an opportunity to try to find another good fit for them. So it really does provide our students a lot of exposure. So it's something that we're very excited about and very proud of.
Now, how do you pair the students up with these internship opportunities?
So that varies. We typically do a career fair where we'll have the different partners come in. Many times they'll come in also in the afternoons where they'll just do, students can ask to go hear a different industry come and talk, and that can expose them to it. For BGE, for instance, we may have one of the trucks come out so they can see what the lineman's job might look like, but they also then can see what the guys who work on the actual side of the computer side of things, so they can also see that as well. So we really try to expose our students to a variety of different options and opportunities. And then, hopefully from there, they work with our counselors. So we have a director of student experiences and internships, Miss Kellie, and Miss Kellie actually will then work individually with each student and sometimes with each family, depending on, sometimes families have an influence as well, where mom's a nurse, they want to walk down that medical field. So we really do try to partner with the families and find the best fit for each student.
But we also have pathways. So we have 3 pathways here at Green Street, one being pre-nursing, the other construction design management, and ag tech. So our young people are exposed early in those 3 areas, and there's so many ways that you can move within those areas. So the nice thing is, starting in the middle school, they start to see what what it looks like to be in those different pathways. And then once they're in those pathways, they're taking courses, they're meeting guest speakers, they're having opportunities to visit different locations. So they get a feel for those different areas early. So then once they're in their junior and senior year, it's a little easier to, connect them with those internship opportunities.
That's awesome. That's so important to have those real world connections at an early age. Now, we just popped up on the screen here an event that you have coming up later this month, the Girls STEAM Academy. Can you tell us a little more about that?
I believe October 11th is the International Day of the Girl. And so that is a day when internationally we introduce technology to young girls, young women. We really want to push, internationally girls in these fields. So here at Green Street, we wanted to kind of jump into this initiative, and we are going to have our first Girls Powered Up for STEAM Day. We're inviting fifth graders from around the West Baltimore area, primarily those in traditionally elementary schools. We don't want to really recruit from those K-8s. We do invite fifth graders to come in because they register to come to Green Street for sixth grade. So we want to get them excited about STEAM. We will have guest speakers, activities. A lot of our high school girls will be leading activities just to show them what we do at Green Street, but also to get them powered up and excited about STEAM because this is the wave of the future and we want our young ladies to be prepared.
Absolutely. That sounds great. That sounds like an awesome event.
We're
Now,
also
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But we're looking for volunteers. So if you are interested in volunteering, if I could find a way to share information so that you could reach out to me, we'd love to have some young ladies or women in these industries come out and volunteer, or even if you want to help, work a station, or even just, be here to welcome the young ladies, that would be great.
Well, that's actually leading into my next question, because I wanted to ask you how members of the community can get involved, whether at this event or even longer term with Green Street Academy. If there are any of our listeners or viewers out there who might want to host an intern or find a way to connect with you all, what's the best way to do that?
I would say the best way, I believe our Facebook page is being broadcasted. We've shared that. If you message us on Facebook, especially if you're a small business owner or if you're just looking to give back, we always are looking for opportunities for people to come in and talk to our students or even volunteer at one of our community outreach days where we're doing community service projects in the neighborhood. So we really just encourage it. So please hit us up on Instagram. If you have anything you want to do, we rarely say no. We need all the help we can get. And it really matters to us for the community to be a part of our program as we run here at Green Street Academy.
So just slide into the DMs, send you a message, and you'll get back to us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's so cool. That's great to hear, because I know that there are so many people out there in Baltimore who would love to be a part of what you all are doing there in West Baltimore. And you become a big part of the community there too, as well, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So we try, every year we do a community walk where we try to go just kind of greet, the neighbors and talk about our school and the opportunities we have here. If they have any scholars that want to come or if they want to volunteer. We try to, encourage our students. One of our core values is citizenship. So we often go out and do neighborhood cleanups. We'll go out and plant trees. When a community playground went in down the block, our students went over there and volunteered to help and work with the team. So we really do, try to celebrate giving back and how good that feels as well for our students. That's a big part of the work we do here.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, real quickly, we've got about a minute left. I see Miss Logan wearing that Green Street Pride T-shirt there. You guys are the Chargers, right?
That's correct.
How are the Chargers doing this year?
Our football team is 3-2 right now. Our volleyball team, I believe, is 3-3. Our football team's we're a younger team. We were 10-0 last year, so we had I believe it was 17 seniors graduate. So we're really excited about the future. We actually play. If anyone wants to come from the community, we actually play at Babe Ruth Field right across from St. Agnes. We're playing there on Friday night at 5 p.m. We're taking on Severn. So please come out and support us.
Oh, that sounds like a great way to spend a Friday night. That's right across the street from where I was born, St. Agnes Hospital. Awesome. So we've got athletics, we've got school spirit, we've got internship opportunities and workforce development. We've got it all at Green Street Academy. We're going to put those links to your social media accounts up on our Facebook page. Please reach out and contact Green Street Academy if you want to be a part of the good work that they're doing in West Baltimore. Executive Director Denisha Logan, Principal Tim Gordon, thank you both so much for joining us today on Wake Up Baltimore.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Have a great week.
All right, you too.
You too.
Love to see these Baltimore schools and all the dedicated individuals who are working so hard to make our city even greater than it already is. So much good news out there. All you got to do is look for it. And speaking of good news, there's always something fun happening in Baltimore too. And there is nobody more plugged in to the entertainment and social scene in our city than your Gurl Cheryl. And I think we have a report from Cheryl coming up next. So Cheryl, tell us what's happening in Baltimore this week.
Wake Up Baltimore is your Gurl Cheryl with what's hot this week, October 11th through the 16th. We are in the middle of Free Fall Baltimore, an activity offered every year by the Baltimore Office of Promotion of the Arts in October, and it's a sampling of what's great in the city, what kind of activities, workshops, events, performances you can check out in music, theater, dance, galleries, whatever. Just check out and see what you like, some things you've never done before, find out about some organizations or venues you've never been to before, just something for you to try out during the month of October. So I'm going to give you a few of those right now and mix it in with a few other events, and you can pick and choose what you'd like to check out. Just make a calendar for yourself. Let's start with Tuesday, October the 11th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you haven't been there for a while, if you never have, Free Fall Baltimore invites everybody to check out the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore. Come in and free admission to the zoo and meet and learn about all the animals there. Did you know it's over 1,500 animals at the zoo? Everything, elephants, penguins, chimpanzees, everything's at the zoo. So check it out, Tuesday, October the 11th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. A lot of the activities this month are happening in the Station North Arts District, particularly this week, in right there at North Avenue and North Charles Street. So on Thursday, October 13th at 4 p.m., it's the last day for the documentary Sydney at the Parkway Theater. That's from producer Oprah Winfrey. This documentary honors the legendary Sidney Poitier and, of course, his legacy as a noted actor, filmmaker, and activist at the center of Hollywood and also the civil rights movement. It features great interviews with Denzel Washington, Halle Berry, Robert Redford, Lenny Kravitz, Spike Lee, and many more. So check out the documentary Sydney if you're a Sidney Poitier fan, and even if you're not, check them out and find out some new information right there at the Parkway on Thursday at 4 p.m. Also on Thursday, right across the street, but a few doors down, at 7 p.m., it's movie night at the Motor House. And they are featuring, trying to get you ready for Halloween, the Candyman, 2001 version of Candyman. In addition, if you stay for the film, stay a little bit after the film, there'll also be a discussion, a post-movie discussion with artist, activist, and archivist Dwayne Moses. That's another Free Fall Baltimore event. Remember, Thursday, October 13th at 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday, October 14th and 15th, it's the second annual Black Choreographers Festival held at the Creative Alliance on Eastern Avenue. This festival features so many great dance artists from the Baltimore area, and they're going to be providing movement workshops, panel discussions, as well as performances. So, and actually your girl Cheryl is scheduled to be on one of those panel discussions, so hopefully you'll come check it out. Check out the website first so you can see what you might want to attend, creativealliance.org. Saturday, October 15th at 1 o'clock, it's a Neighborhood Oktoberfest community concert. Thanks to John Lampkin, trumpeter John Lampkin, and his Favorites Jazz Quintet. They're going to be outdoors doing a community concert in the Huntington neighborhood. That's the 6800 block of Parsons Avenue. That's Saturday at 1 p.m. Also on Saturday at 5 p.m., Women in the Life of James Baldwin. This is an afternoon of live performances, stage readings, and music. including a focused discussion on the many noted Black female literary influences surrounding James Baldwin. That includes Toni Morrison, Ruby Dee, Lorraine Hansberry, Nina Simone, just a variety of Black female literary artists. And that's at Nancy's, also there in Station North Arts District, North Avenue, and Howard Street. That's Saturday, October 15th at 5 p.m. For details on these and other great things to do, visit yourgirlcheryl.net. I keep a listing all the time. And also freefallbaltimore.org, which has listings of all the freefall activities. On my website, you can also check out just some other things, not just this week, but that happened throughout the month. So check out the magazine, What's Hot in the DMV. Just check out the website, either website, yourgirlcheryl.net and or freefallbaltimore.org. I'm your girl Cheryl, and that's what's hot this week.
Thanks so much, Cheryl. Yeah, the weather might be cooling off, but Baltimore is still hot, baby. All sorts of good stuff going on. Thank you, Cheryl, for that awesome update. And remember to go to yourgirlcheryl.net for a full listing of all of those upcoming events. This is such a great time in the city. There's always something going on out at the zoo, at Station North Arts District, the Creative Alliance, so much to look forward to. And I had the privilege this past weekend of being a part of the Poe Fest International event over in the Poppleton neighborhood, right in the same block where Edgar Allan Poe lived in Baltimore for about 3 years in his early 20s. Now, Edgar Allan Poe lived in a lot of different cities during his life. He moved around a bunch. He was born in Boston. He lived in Philadelphia. He lived in Richmond. He lived in New York. But I think that Baltimore has the most legitimate claim to Edgar Allan Poe's legacy for two very important reasons. Number one, it was in Baltimore that Edgar Allan Poe became a professional writer. And what does it mean to be a professional? It means you get paid. Edgar Allan Poe was paid for the very first time for something he'd written while living in that tiny house on Amity Street back in 1833. It was a writing contest, actually, sponsored by a periodical called the Baltimore Saturday Visitor. He wrote a short story called Manuscript Found in the Bottle. It won first place, and he was awarded a $50 cash prize. The first time Edgar Allan Poe was ever paid for something he'd written. And reason number two that Baltimore has the most legitimate claim to Poe's legacy, he's still here. He's buried at Westminster Cemetery, right at the corner of West Fayette and Green Street, and you can visit the grave of Edgar Allan Poe whenever you'd like. But if you do plan on paying a visit to Edgar Allan Poe's grave, this week is a great week to do it because you'll also be able to see inside Westminster Hall a recreation of the funeral of Edgar Allan Poe and his young bride, Virginia. There are coffins inside the hall. There are exhibits and plaques that talk about the unlikely circumstances surrounding their relationship and their untimely deaths. It's very, very cool and worth a visit. That exhibit is up all week long at Westminster Hall. It's furnished by Poe Baltimore. They also maintain the house on Amity Street, and all of the money raised goes towards that mission of preserving Poe's legacy in Baltimore. And that legacy is so important to our city. It's amazing how many people don't realize the reason why our football team, our first place football team, is called the Baltimore Ravens is because of one of Edgar Allan Poe's most famous poems, The Raven, written in 1845. So I think it's safe to say we have the only team in the NFL named after poetry, which is very cool. So learn more about the man who wrote the poem that inspired the name of your favorite football team. This week, you can head to poebaltimore.org for more information about those events. And all week long, you can visit Westminster Hall right there near the campus of the University of Maryland, Baltimore, and see that Poe and Virginia death exhibit. A great, great fall activity, especially in the month of October with Halloween just a few weeks away. All kinds of good stuff to do in Baltimore, all over the city. So again, check out yourgirlcheryl.net. I want to bring in Leon right now. Leon's our producer behind the scenes who keeps this show running like a well-oiled machine. And Leon also works with folks all around the city playing racquetball. And he's got his goggles on right now. You know, safety first, right?
You know it, Chris. Safety, safety first. Good morning, Chris. You are doing such a great job on this show. I saw Mike Haney making some comments here. Um, Thanks, Mike, for letting Chris host the show. He's keeping his seat warm, doing a great job, huh?
I appreciate that, Leon. You guys are making me look good. It's all the work that goes into it behind the scenes.
Well,
You
thank
guys
you.
make the magic happen.
Thank you. We appreciate that. And you made mention to the eye guards. I run a youth racquetball program. You can learn more about that program by going to Racquetball Revival. Racquetball Revival. That's RACQUETBALL and revival, just like church. Racquetballrevival.com to learn more about the program. But this is the first lesson we teach our kids that you must wear eye guards whenever you're
Mhm.
on a racquetball court. And so that's why I'm wearing them today. To anyone that wants to play racquetball, you always wear eye guards.
Now, have they ever come in handy? Have you ever had a situation where if you weren't wearing those eye guards, it would have ended badly?
Well, no, because I've always worn them.
That's right.
However, at least once a month, maybe twice a month, there will be folks playing on a court adjacent to where I'm working out with the kids, and they will not have on eye guards. And I'll say, you really should get some eye guards on. You can buy them for like $8, or in fact, here, I have some here, wear them. And they don't. And they hit the ball errantly and they end up, they get hit. Right. And now I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but I have a lot of marks right in here. And that's because the eye guards did their job. The ball comes in and they dig in and
Yeah.
protect my eye. So that's how we do it. Yeah, safety first. Absolutely, Chris.
Better to have those marks on your face from the eye guards than a black eye from a racquetball.
Absolutely. You got it. Yeah.
Now, Leon,
Absolutely.
no offense, but I think that some people generally think of racquetball as maybe an older person's game sometimes. But you're out there with the kids. How do the kids respond to racquetball? What do they think of it?
Listen, kids love it. I've been coaching racquetball either at a private club or a municipal program for 42 years.
Wow.
I've had one kid, one, that did not like racquetball, right? Kids love it. But here's the thing, most kids haven't been exposed to racquetball.
Right.
That's because it's not in schools. And there aren't many places to play. Even in the Baltimore area, there are only 25 racquetball courts. And most of them, you have to belong to a club to play with a club that has expensive memberships. And
Mhm.
even many of those places have taken the racquetball courts out in exchange for putting cardio equipment on those courts.
Hmm.
And so racquetball, you don't see it on television either. So you just had the U.S. Open last week, and nobody knew about it. But although it was broadcast on YouTube, but kids love racquetball, Chris. They love it.
That's awesome. It's funny to me that they would put cardio equipment on racquetball courts because it would seem that playing a game of racquetball, to spear a game of racquetball, is a better cardio workout than walking on a treadmill.
It is the workout. It's the best workout. We joke with the kids when they come off the court and they're sweating. We tell them, "Hey, you got that racquetball sweat." That's what we tell the kids, and they absolutely love playing racquetball. And we just need to get more kids involved in it. They absolutely love it. It's a great sport. But you know the coolest thing that I like the most about racquetball, Chris, is this. It's an individual sport. And so if you lose, you lost. There's no one else to blame it on, right?
Mhm.
It's you. So it teaches personal responsibility. And it also has so many academic aspects to it. A rubber ball hitting a cement or plaster wall at a certain speed. We're talking physics now. That the ball comes at different angles. So we're talking geometry, right? It's so much is involved in the on the academic side, and it's a social sport. You have to talk to people, you communicate, and you learn problem solving skills. Was that a short shot? Was it a long shot? No, it's my serve now. That shot wasn't any good. Okay, let's fight about it. No, it doesn't happen in racquetball. We take turns and you learn problem solving skills through this great sport of racquetball.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that before. There are all kinds of life lessons to be learned. A lot of character building too, it sounds like.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's one other really cool thing. Many of the kids that are in our program now, and many that I've coached in the past, didn't play another sport or didn't have success at another sport. You can build confidence playing racquetball. What we do, we start teaching kids as young as 4. And at 4 years old, they hit a larger ball
Mhm.
with a smaller racket. And when they hit the ball, yes, I did it, I did it, I did it. They feel a great sense of accomplishment. And we gradually give them a smaller ball with a larger racket. And then we take them from there, and there's just confidence gets built up as they start to learn the court movements and the different angles to play. It's just a great time. And so I want everybody to go to racquetballrevival.com. On October 29th, you'll hear more information about it. We're going to have a big racquetball open house at the Northeast Rec Center in Parkville. I want everybody watching, everybody listening, you,
Hey,
Mike and Kelly, to come on out, and we'll get you on the racquetball court, and it's a great time for everybody.
I can't wait. That sounds like a blast. I can't remember the last time I played racquetball. I think it was in college, so I might be a little bit rusty, but I'm looking forward to getting back out there.
Hey, looking forward to it. And Mike Haney's telling people last week, that I stood him up. I didn't show up. I was scared. Yeah. Bring it on. Bring it on. But great. Chris, thanks for having me on a little time to talk about the great sport of racquetball. We appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
Leon.
Thank
And
you.
I'm looking forward to seeing you and Mike settle that on the court.
Oh, we will. Oh, it will get settled. It will. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Leon. Well, now it is time for our weekly Health Watch report with a friend of the show, Dr. Michael Zollicoffer. Dr. Z, are you here?
Hey,
How we doing,
What's
sir?
I'm hanging tough. How you been doing?
I'm well. How was your weekend?
I can't complain. I got hit a couple golf balls. That makes it always good.
That always helps, especially on a beautiful weekend like this.
Yeah, it was a little brisk, but it was fine.
Yeah, well, we were just talking, Kelly and I earlier. This is, I think, perfect weather. A little bit of sweater weather.
Right.
You're not getting too hot when you're outside, but it's not too cold where you just want to stay inside and not do anything at all. So I think we're right in the sweet spot right about now.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you call it that football weather coming.
Yeah. Did you stay up late and watch the Ravens last
you
night?
better believe it. Better believe it, baby. We got to give it to the Ravens on that one.
Very good.
We got the big foot of Tucker. We wouldn't be able to do what we could do.
Isn't he amazing? Is there a medical explanation for how good he is at kicking balls?
I heard someone talking on the Today Show today. He actually had a big thing on Tucker today on the Today Show.
Really?
He hits the game-winning field goal and has his whole expose about how great he is, his singing and everything. And somebody got up and said he has the greatest fast twitch fibers in the history of football. So I guess that's the explanation.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, and you mentioned the opera singing and everything too.
Yeah,
He's got
right.
the Royal Farms commercial. Is there anything the guy can't do?
I don't know. I would have joined him. I just want to carry his bag.
And you got your Ravens shirt on today too.
Oh yes, baby. I had to put it on. Well, after that win, we got to keep talking about them Ravens, especially when you wake up Baltimore to something good as that.
Love it. Yeah, it's always a good Monday morning.
We had some heartbreaks in the last few games, so to have that come on and he do that, we hitting this week off going right.
I'll tell you what, I never lost faith, but there was that sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach after we blew that 10-point lead. I'm like, no, this can't happen again. Not at home, not again.
Yeah, I was peeking through my eyes, just hoping. Yes, sir, Chris. We're doing it this morning, my buddy.
Very good. Well, Dr. Z, what else do you want to tell us about this morning?
Oh, I think we still have to hit some of the things. And, let's just make the everyone out there in the viewing audience know that this winter most likely is going to be a bad winter for flu that nobody can predict. But here's a person who does this for a living. And in the last week, I've just seen nothing but respiratory virus. People wheezing, people coughing, bronchitis, bronchiolitis, loads of things. Names don't make a difference. I try to keep the public to a point of keeping it simple. But hear me out. We are in for a heck of a flu season. That's on top of the COVID. So we may have them both in combination. So the reason we talk about that is we need to go out. and get our flu shots. Don't let's put it as COVID. Get those flu shots, because we as a population who've been mass protected also lose our baseline immunity. And so we haven't seen all the respiratory viruses. If we can remember about the winter of 2021, we saw the same thing. We took down the mask, and here's this common cold that ravages the population. So I'm warning you right now, get that flu shot. That's going to be great. And that's going to help us a lot and protect us from not just flu, but from other respiratory viruses also. The other good thing we got, I'm having another COVID event at the office on October the 22nd from 10 to 2 at the office. And we will be giving out shots. And this is the first time I'll be giving COVID shots from 6 months and above. So this is going to be a great event. Everybody needs to come out. I did one a month ago. We're doing another one. We've been doing these monthly to give a chance for everybody to come in and get a COVID shot. And that's from 6 months till adulthood. So everybody can come through. So these are the things I want to push out that population, because sometimes we forget the day-to-day things. So we got this sensational pandemic of COVID, but we forget our basic other little viruses and other illnesses that come to us also.
That's right. Those seasonal flus can be brutal. Now the flu shots are available in the same places you can get the COVID shots in most cases,
you can get COVIDs almost everywhere. I tell people, you don't have to necessarily go to your doc. Not a lot of docs have them in supply in their office, but some do. But the biggest place we've been getting these things are through some of these pharmacies and some of the things, like I said, these mass immunization clinics that I run here at the office. So, but you can get your flu shot just where you've been. Your doctor's been well stocked in those for years and decades. So we can always do that. And that's in every age group. All right. Some of the older ones even get a little super flu shot. But we want to get everybody from whatever you need from at any stage, any age, to get out there and get immunized so we can protect ourselves from a winter that doesn't look like it's going to harbor a lot of good for us.
Right. And you might as well knock it all out at the same time, right? If you're going to go get your COVID booster, maybe get the flu shot at the same time. And
if you go get everything, I mean, look, if you got the older people need the second quote chicken pox shot, what they call the shingles vaccinations, which is just a super duper chicken pox shot. But all of those things, whatever you need, if you haven't had a tetanus shot in 10 years, get that too. I mean, we forget these maintenance situations because we've been in a sensationalized society for so long with the pandemic that we forget the day-to-day basic things we got to do. It's like changing the oil in your car. It's like going to get that maintenance and kicking your tires. Make sure everything's inflated. Make sure we're on the road to a good, smooth drive. And that's what we got to look at. Let's tune ourselves up out there, Baltimore. Tune ourselves up.
Love that. Tune yourself up. Yeah, the best way to stay healthy is to avoid getting sick in the first place, right?
That's right. Take an ounce of prevention before you go back and regret it.
For sure. Now, are people still able to get the initial series of COVID shots? If somebody, for whatever reason, hasn't, because everybody's talking about boosters now. What if you're somebody who's like, you know what, I never even got my initial COVID shot? You can still get those as well?
You can still get anything. And here's again, not throwing it out to the population, because I think we were besieged with too much data that very few of us can understand. If you've never had a COVID shot, when you go, they will give you the shot you need. Go back and think I need the original shot. Things have changed and evolved a long place since the initial immunization drives when we brought the shot out. So you will get what you need. Just get there and give it. Like I told everybody, you never knew what you got in the flu shot before, but now we all became COVID shot experts. So let's put it back to the day-to-day. Just go get the shot. Your doctor and who's giving it knows what they're doing. Let them administer the shot and you go from there. And if you need a booster, get that booster. And the newest booster, of course, covers all the latest variations of COVID. And so that's what we look at. And the schedule will change, but like I tell everybody, don't you worry about that part. Just go get the shot. Just
trust your doctor.
Right. You don't go ask about what's in the shingle shot. You don't know what's going on with the shot public. Just get the shot.
Absolutely. And it's extremely safe and it's going to protect you in the long run.
That's right. That's right, my friend. Look, now we can stop talking about can it hurt you. You've gotten there 2+ years of giving a COVID shot. And I'm telling you, COVID does you much better than the shot. It's becoming to the point where the public started to understand that. And then the COVID shots will be commonplace. And I will predict and will say, as I've said in the past, this is your new flu. This is just another one of these winter respiratory viruses or whatever season it comes. Well, it will peak, have ups and downs. We just try to protect ourselves to stop the morbidity and mortality. And that's the biggest thing. And we have seen that. This is just part of life now, I tell everybody. Because we got to remember, Chris, get that mental health together. We've got to get back and do our normal, because that is what everybody's telling you is coming and skyrocketing. The mental health of the population coming out of a pandemic is, I can't even put a word to it. But we got to get out here and get ourselves back to day-to-day living, get to the Ravens games, get out to go to the play, get out and see a concert, get out here and walk in the park, and go to the mall. And don't always think you got to slap on a mask on your face, because we're past that. Be thoughtful, though. And in situations where you have to worry, put your things on. If that's what you feel, put your mask on. But I'm very lenient on this now and trying to get everybody back to getting back to normal life.
Yeah, I mean, what we've been through, quite an ordeal over the past 2+ years, and that'll have an impact on anybody's mental health. And it is important to try to have some semblance of normalcy. I agree 100%. And the vaccines are what are going to allow us to do that.
And it has done that. We are basically effectively really have a United States is really protected by herd immunity, as we have to get to and we tried to. And we didn't get it to the way we designed it. But by life and happenstance, we've got a point where the population is generally protected right now from the herd immunity effect of the shot and acquiring disease, etc. And so the general public, loosen up. Let's get up and wake up to our lives, not just Baltimore, but wake up. And let's get out here and root those Ravens on and do what we got to do and do things to root yourself on, because we got to get our heads together.
And like we talked about, there's so much to do out there, especially this time of year. You can be outside too, if you'd like. I mean, there's just a lot to see and do, and a lot to be positive about.
That's right. And we talked about golf way back where we started. They wouldn't even let you take the golf pole out the hole. I told them that was crazy back then. It's even crazier now if you don't. Take your golf the flag stick out of the hole and put it in, fellas. Get out there and hit that ball. Let's say it to Baltimore Crook. 4. We're going to do it good.
Dr. Z, always great to see you, my friend. Thank you for being with us today.
All right, my buddy. We'll look forward to another day.
See you again next time.
Okay, partner.
Well, thanks, Dr. Z. And thanks to all of our guests this week on Wake Up Baltimore. We want to thank again our friends at Green Street Academy, Executive Director Denisha Logan, Principal Tim Gordon. Make sure you check out that Girls STEAM event coming up later this month in October, and visit our Facebook page for more information about how you can be a part of the good work going on at Green Street Academy. Our thanks also to our regular team that keeps this show up and running, keeps everybody looking good. Leon, Kelly, the behind the scenes crew, you guys are awesome. Thanks to your Gurl Cheryl for giving us a lot to look forward to this week. Everybody have a fantastic Monday, a great week in Baltimore. Remember, stay positive, stay happy. There's a lot to celebrate, a lot of good news out there. You just have to look for it. Until next time, I'm Chris Riehl, and this is Wake Up Baltimore. We'll see you again soon.